what's going on, guys? It's Cynical, and today for you guys I got some general gaming news that I want to talk about for a change. Today we're going to be talking about PlayStation 4.5. Now, in case you guys don't know about this spread out onto the internet last week, and tons of people have been talking about this PS 4.5. I know a lot of people are kind of angry towards it and a little bit negative towards it, but then of course we also have those people who are very positive towards it and they want this to happen. Now, what I mean by want this to happen is this is currently still a rumor until Sony officially come out and say yes, PS 4.5 is a thing, it's real. Then this is classified as a rumor. Apparently a lot of developers who are working with Sony have come out and said that Sony are working on a upgraded version of the PlayStation 4, which is known as the PS 4.5. So it's very interesting. So today I just kind of wanted to express my opinions towards this, how I feel about it. I'm very mixed about the whole situation, honestly. I am excited for it and I can see the benefits of it. But then again, I'm hoping that Sony, if they are actually doing this, they take it in the right direction and they don't completely fuck over the whole entire community in terms of the community who are following Sony. Because as of right now, the PlayStation 4 is the most popular next generation console, and Sony really don't want to ruin their reputation. They really don't want to ruin their reputation. Now, you guys are probably sitting there, you're wondering, okay, so what is PlayStation 4.5? Explain it to me. So we have very little information about this system itself, but here's what I can give you. This comes from Kotaku. I will leave this article in the description below, and this is what they said. Based on conversations with developers who have spoken with Sony, this PS 4.5 will include an upgraded GPU to both support high-end 4K resolution for games and add more processing power that can enhance the games supported by PlayStation VR. The headset Sony will launch this fall. It's unclear if PS 4.5 is an official name or just a nickname that developers have been using. One developer jokingly called it the PS 4K while telling me about the device. So pretty much what this PlayStation 4.5 is from what we've heard, an upgraded version, essentially just an upgraded PlayStation 4. Now, this is kind of cool in some sense, but then again, it's not really, and I'm going to explain it to you guys. So let's go into the kind of negatives that I see. If Sony ends up making this PlayStation 4.5, I hope they do it right in terms of meaning that I hope that developers don't develop PlayStation 4 games specifically for this PlayStation 4.5, meaning that you're going to need to go out of your way to then buy a whole nother console to play these exclusive PS 4.5 games. A kind of example that I can give you guys is Nintendo ended up making a quote-unquote new 3DS, which essentially it had more processing power and it was just more of a powerful 3DS in comparison to the regular 3DS that you could get. Now, there has been a couple of games that have been released for this quote-unquote new 3DS, where you actually need the new 3DS to be able to play the 3DS games that require the new 3DS. So, I mean, that's not too much of a problem because there aren't really too many games that absolutely require the new Nintendo 3DS. But for the people who want to play those games and they only have the regular 3DS, then they're fucked, They need the new 3DS to play those games. So I hope that Sony does not take that direction if the PS 4.5 is an actual thing. Meaning that there is going to be a couple of games that will release every so often where you absolutely freaking need the new version of the PlayStation 4 as it's got better processing power and a better, GPU and whatnot. That is going to piss off a lot of people because when it comes down to it, these next generation consoles, I mean, they're not cheap. Definitely when they first came out, they weren't cheap. They're still not really that cheap as well, especially in my country. They're still like $600. So it's gonna piss off a lot of people if Sony decide to take it in the direction where you absolutely need the upgraded console to play a few of the different games. That's going to piss off a lot of people. But when it comes down to it, the benefits are pretty cool. I mean, 4K gaming. I mean, 4K isn't really something that's ever so popular at the moment. I mean, 1080p has been what everyone has been using for a long time now. But 4K is only just kind of entered into the whole entertainment section in terms of there are people out there who are using 4K, but the majority is still using 1080p. And I mean, 4K personally, I've never used it. I've seen it, and it looks freaking beautiful. But is it really a necessity? I mean, to some people, yeah, maybe it is, but, you know. The other thing is the GPU. So, you know, obviously it's going to allow the PlayStation 4 to handle 4K, and that's pretty impressive, right? This upgraded GPU, that's great. But the other thing is making games perform better and be visually more stunning. Of course, if you have a higher resolution, it's going to do that, but not just in terms of like resolution, but like texture scaling, more detail in terms of, you know, better shadow effects, better lighting effects, better texture effects. All that kind of stuff can be possible if the PlayStation 4 had a better GPU, better processor and whatnot. And if this PS 4.5 is going to do exactly that, then we're probably going to have games that are going to look on par with like running a game on your computer at high or ultra high settings, which I think is great because, you know, forever now, since forever, PC gamers have always slammed console gamers because, of course, you know, PC gamers, they get the definitive experience when they're playing a game on their PC. Of course, if you're playing a game on the PC, it's going to look better, it's going to run smoother. That is granted that you have a PC rig that, of course, can handle all those settings. Whereas when you play that game on the console, it's kind of, you know, a downgraded version of the game, visually wise and performance wise, whereas the game is kind of running on low to medium settings on the console. Now, to a lot of people, that's not really such a big deal. To me personally as well, it's not really such a big deal. But with that being said, it is still kind of nice to see games looking at their best, you know, at their best potential. And if that can be done with this new hardware, with this apparent PS 4.5, then honestly, I'm all for it. But getting back to it, you know, I really hope that Sony don't take this in the direction of where you actually need the PlayStation 4.5 in order to play certain games. What I would like is, like, if you are using the regular PlayStation 4, then you're going to have just the kind of like minimum experience. But if you're running the PS 4.5, you're going to have better performance in terms of perhaps frames per second, and of course the game is going to look a lot better. That's essentially what I would like. It also makes me wonder, you know, is this going to be a whole new console in its own right, or is it going to allow players to upgrade their current PS4s with, say, upgrade kits that Sony officially release to, of course, make their PlayStation 4 a little bit more powerful? Because I'm sure that tons of people have only just bought a PlayStation 4, and if they find out perhaps, I don't know, 4 or 5 months down the track that there's a brand new version of the PlayStation 4, they're going to kind of be a little bit angry. But this does interest me, and if this is an actual thing that Sony are focusing on and they're working on, then I'm sure that this year at E3 is probably the place where we're going to see this. And it does get me excited. I just want to hear more information about it, and I want to hear it from Sony themselves. And yeah, E3 is probably going to be the place for exactly that. If the PlayStation 4.5 doesn't appear at E3 this year, then I would say that this is probably just a rumor unless it appears later on in 2017 at E3, but we'll just have to wait and see. Otherwise, guys, this has just been a general gaming discussion from me. What do you guys think about this whole PS 4.5? Is this something that you guys want to see? Let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.